Good morning, hikers. Taking a rest on a hill out of the Tumbling Run shelters, which were gorgeous. Probably one of the nicest places I've stayed so far, shelter-wise. And taking a little break before hitting this hill right out of the shelter. If you don't mind huffing and puffing, I'll take you with me. So today, 12.2 miles is the goal to the Quarry Gap shelter. And in about 9-10 miles in, I will be taking a little break at Caledonia State Park. I believe they have real bathrooms and, rumor has it, some electricity, so I can top off something. I think I'd be fine with my power bank as it is, but why not, combine a snack and water break with a little charging if you can. So last night I slept great. I was in one of the shelters alone. There's two shelters here. One is for snoring and one is for non-snoring. I went in the non-snoring, but it wouldn't have mattered. I was alone. There were lots of other tenters around. And I stayed warm and cozy. I think it got, there was a freeze warning, so low 30s or below. It's 38 right now. My hands are freezing, but I'll warm up pretty quick here. Yeah, great night. I got in a little bit later than I normally would, but because I didn't have to set up my tent, saved a bit of time. I ate dinner, filtered water for today, and yeah, I should be good to go. And my hands finally warmed up. Yay! The sun feels so great. I think the high is only supposed to be like 55 again today and sunny, which is pretty perfect for hiking in my opinion. Random thought, I have some relatively flat land here. I get the question a lot about what do you eat on trail. I think off trail I eat pretty much whatever I can. It depends what I'm craving. Like yesterday it was a meatball sub. Technically that was on trail, but I went a little off trail to get the delivery. When I was on my 0 day in Hagerstown, I had one night a pulled pork sandwich, and the next night, oh my gosh, I got Panera delivery of a huge Greek salad. I really craved fresh food. Fruit like clementines are like gold out here. When I got Trail Magic from my friends in Harper's Ferry that slack packed us that 90-degree day, she showed up at camp when we were done hiking with a bunch of clementines and iced tea. It was unbelievable. It tastes really good. But when I'm backpacking, like between towns and, other than Trail Magic, for breakfast, my stomach, I can't really eat a lot. So I have been using Carnation instant breakfast drink with the extra protein in it. And I mix that with cold water and I throw in a Starbucks Via packet and just shake it up and drink it cold. I have not fired up my stove for hot coffee or hot breakfast drinks since the first morning. I'll see if that changes, but I'm fine just slugging it down while I'm packing up my tent and stuff. Then when I pack for the day like a pretty generous sized snack bag inside a baggie, and then I put it in my hip pocket here so that the food technically doesn't directly touch my backpack. And I fill that with whatever I have from resupply. So it could be power bars and jelly beans, candy. A big thing I like out here are payday bars and Snicker bars. And this is really weird, but I think I talked about this before, but beef sticks or beef jerky, holy cow. I generally don't eat a ton of meat at home other than burgers or bacon, which I can't resist. But I'm telling you what, out here, I saw beef jerky in the store and I'm like all over it. And then the Trail Magic, Ken and Tamara that brought us the clementines and iced tea, they brought us homemade bacon jerky or pork jerky that is to die for. So I've had some of that out here too. So apparently I'm a beef eater on trail. For snacks, I'll have anything from beef sticks, candy bars, power bars, you name it, peanut butter on tortilla or crackers, whatever I picked up in town. And then I don't really do a full-on lunch. do like a 20-minute sit-down break and just eat some snacks, hydrate. And then for dinner is my favorite because I had made all winter some dinners and put them in the freezer at home, and my husband kindly sends them to me where I tell him and how many. So they are dehydrated meals that you buy. I like, oh my God, I can't think of the name. Well, Backpacker's Pantry is a big one, Mountain House, but there's not Food for the Soul, they're out of business. But there's another company, I don't know, my editor can put it in here, that has really good meals. And I divide them into two, and then I supplement them with like extra protein, like extra dehydrated beans. I put buckwheat ramen, like all kinds of stuff. And then to keep it simple, I just boil 500 mils of water. I put that in my cold soak container, or hot, it's food safe plastic container. Rehydrate the meal for 15 to 20 minutes. And then if it comes out too soupy, I just put in some instant mashed potatoes. And that has been working out so well for me and delicious. And it saves me from having to go, oh, this meal needs, 1 cup of water for 15 minutes. This meal needs 2 cups of water. Forget it. I just put everything, gets 500 mils, 20 minutes. And throw in mashed potatoes if it's too thin. So that's basically what I eat when I'm on trail. And you can understand why the town food is so appealing when I do make it in town. I came up on this and I thought it was a little fairy door. But it's literally just the way the bark has fallen off the tree, but it looks like it could be a fairy door. This trail's beautiful, forgiving, and flat right now, and pretty smooth. Thank you, trail. I'm feeling a little low energy right now, so I'm glad you're on the same page for the time being. You can see behind me, still at a nice forest. Today, this section of the trail is in the Michaux, M-I-C-H-A-U-X, State Forest of Pennsylvania. And I believe it's quite large. I don't know the statistics. Oh, look, a little mini Christmas tree. I love those. They looked so pretty last evening in the light as I was hiking in. I am feeling a little tired today, and I got what I thought was good sleep, so I'm thinking it's just because I really pushed hard yesterday afternoon to make it into camp. But luckily, so far, the terrain isn't super demanding, and I'm just taking it slow. Hopefully I'll get another pep in my step here shortly. I just got some trail magic. I believe it was Swamp Road. And I see a pickup truck pulled over with the bed open, and I'm like, oh boy. I thought someone was out here hunting and had a deer to throw in the back. And I hear a woman go, hey, would you like a couple of bars? And she had a whole bag of Quaker Chewy oatmeal bars. And she said, hey, I usually leave these out, but we're out here today working and putting up the sign saying AT north or south, because it crosses the road and goes up a little ways and then back into the woods. And they had a beautiful sign on a post on both where you come out and where you go back in. And some idiot sawed off the sign like close to the ground. And yeah, there's a white blaze on the tree and you can still see where to go, but what the hell is wrong with people? I can't figure it out. I'm not worried about it, but what a bunch of jerks. And you know what? Bless those volunteers for being out here, spending their free time, trying to make the trail a better place, because they take pride in what they do. Seeing that sign for Raccoon Run Trail reminds me of a story from last night. The caretaker at Tumbling Run Shelters, they have bear poles where you hang your bag of food. And they actually have baffles on them, like cones, upside down cones, like you would see on bird feeders, so squirrels can't get up. And those are to keep raccoons and other critters from getting up and messing with the bags. Great idea. Apparently, a raccoon has figured out how to traverse those baffles, and a couple nights ago had gotten up and gotten two hikers' food bags and ripped them to shreds. I use an earth sack, which is made of Kevlar, so they wouldn't be able to rip it, but I don't want anyone messing with the bag. But he said they had a live trap set last night to try and catch the raccoon, and they had already found a relocation point for him or her, and but he would be back at 6 a.m. this morning to see, and alas, the trap yielded nothing, but nobody's bags were messed with last night. He said to go ahead and hang the ear sack on the bear pole because they couldn't get into that. So I took my chances and did, because the other option was to sleep with my food, and I really didn't want to do that. I see a dragonfly. So the wings, and then you have to look close, but there is like a head and maybe a body there. And the other wing that maybe got shortened somehow. But walking up here, I'm like, oh, dragonfly. I just met this couple. I saw them back by the road, and they passed me and said, hey, out for a good hike today? And I said, yeah, I'm headed to Maine. And they were like, holy cow, you know. And they were nice. And so then I just passed them. They had sat down to have lunch on a rock up here, and they asked me all these questions. And oh, look at this cool rock formation behind me. It's really cool. Anyway, they were asking me all these questions, and they said, hey, do you need food? And I said, well, I don't need any food. I have enough, but if you have any you want to unload, they're like, oh yeah, we have extra. So they gave me an RX bar, chocolate sea salt, and a banana. They go, have you had fresh fruit in a while? And I said, I had a banana like 2 weeks ago or wherever. It's Luray, Virginia. And I had some clementines last weekend. They're like, oh my God. So I am pumped for this banana, and I'm gonna try to eat this now. So I can ditch the peel at the state park. What a freaking treat, right? It's the little things in life. So Nick and Ashley are a sweet couple. They just got married about a year ago, and were telling me all about Carlisle, where they're from. I want to say thank you to the trail angels out there. It really made my day. Thanks. That's twice in one day, by the way. Pretty awesome. Whoa, the trail goes up there. Hello, Rocksylvania. I'm sure this is just a small taste. It's a really cool rock formation up there. At least these are big rocks, relatively, so you can put your foot on them. And they're not sticking all up to cut you. I forgot to mention earlier, one of my milestones for today, I'm actually hiking through Fayetteville, Pennsylvania, close by to Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, which is where my parents retired to. Right when I graduated high school, they came down here and built a home on a golf course, which those of you who know my dad, that's his dream. And my mom learned to play golf. She was actually pretty good. And they enjoyed a lot of golf together in their new home and friends down here, and they really loved it. Then when they got older, they moved into Chambersburg town into a duplex type thing, but they did love that house on the golf course. It was very pretty and beautiful views. I don't play golf, but I used to love to walk the course at night or just sit out there and enjoy the views. I'm thinking of you today, Mom and Dad, and so happy that you got to live your dream. And I'm walking on through fulfilling one of mine. So that's kind of a cool thing. So the funny part, I was thinking, when they retired and moved down here, I was like, man, you know, they're old. I'm the youngest of 6 kids. They were like my age right now. So yeah, I mean, I thought they were old then, but I don't think I'm old now. So I guess they weren't old. It's just a gorgeous day out here. Not anything major of note wildlife wise. Some really cool boulder scrambles mixed in with some really, you can see in the back here, super hikeable soft terrain. It's just a great hike today. I'm enjoying it a lot. This is where a GoPro would come in handy, because there's no way I can hold the camera while I go down this. But anyway, time to embrace my inner child, I guess, and go for the rock hopping approach, but very carefully with poles. I had even more trail magic just now. and it wasn't in the form of food or drinks or anything like that. But I was in the last 1.8 miles of the to camp. I came out of the Caledonia State Park. I was able to charge some of my stuff and use the bathroom. And I am not kidding. This is one of the steepest climbs, I mean, in a while that I've had, and I'm tired today. So long story short, I was huffing, and it was a long ascent, but you know, switchbacks and such. It wasn't like the worst I've seen. Definitely not the worst I will see, for sure. But you know, I've only been out here a couple weeks, 3 weeks today, yay. And this lovely woman was behind me. She lives a local, and she lives nearby, and she says she climbs this hill every day after work. She did not have trekking poles, and she was telling me how she had gone to the White Mountains last summer to raise money for the Ukraine. There was like a challenge to hike through the Whites, like a 4-day hike thing, and that she trained here. And you know, she was talking and chit-chatting all the way up this hill, and she said, you know, I'm gonna go longer because you're here. Usually I just come to the top of the hill and go back down. So she walked me up the whole way until it got flat, and that passed the time and distracted me, and then she was a nice person, and then we said goodbye. So that was really nice. And Wendy, thank you. You are a trail angel of a special sort, and it really helped me end my day without suffering too much through that tough climb. So thank you. There hasn't been much in terms of wildlife or amazing views today other than the woods, but one thing I will say, this is the quietest I have ever experienced on the trail. I'm the only one, you know, a couple hikers have passed me and stuff. It's really quiet out here. There's no day hikers or section hikers. It's not the weekend. And all I can hear is the sound of my own footsteps. And every once in a while, I just stop and I'm like, wow, it is so quiet. It's amazing. If I had a hammock, I would go right over in some of those trees and take a little snooze out here. It's just beautiful. I'm walking along in a regular sunny forest, and boom, this whole row of really tall pines. Dark, beautiful forest in there. Oh, I love them. I am going to lose my mind up in Vermont and New Hampshire and Maine. These tall pines. It's hard to pick a favorite in the woods, but I think these are them. Pretty rhododendron arch up the stairs. Oh my god. Oh, it's tiring. Beautiful though. Entering the Quarry Gap shelter, I made it. There's a welcome gate with flowers. This is unbelievable.